Welcome to another exciting ceramics video. Alright, we're going to show you directions on how to make the slab construction box. Slab constructed box. So I'm going to use my template. First step is to cut the template out. So I'm going to cut right outside of my line in case I need to fix it. If I cut on the inside, then I'm changing the shape too much. So I cut right on the outside of the thick black line. So this will be for the walls, the floor, and the lid of my box. And then you have a frame for the flange and the foot. So we cut that out too. Once again, right outside of the line. So in case you need to fix it, you can. Alright, and the other thing we need to do is cut the inside of this template out. So this little box in here does not need to be there. So I'm just going to fold my template in half. And cut this out. Alright, so now I have my two templates. You have 8 slabs of clay. I would grab the 2 smaller ones, if you have smaller ones, or make sure. Make sure they all fit. If this one's a little small, so I'm going to use this for my foot and my flange. So I'm going to put this down here, use my needle tool. You could use a ruler here if you want to make a nice straight cut, or just use a template and cut by hand. And I'm going to keep my scraps. Notice I'm always trying to cut to my right to make it easier. And since I do this on the board, I could actually just spin the board to make it even easier on myself. Cut there, and then I want to cut the inside squared out too. So I want to do this twice. I want 2 of these. Alright, the next thing I want to do is cut 6 of these out. So it'll be 4 sides, 1 top, lid, and 1 bottom. So 6 altogether. So same thing, I'm going to put this down nice and flat on my clay. I am right-handed, so I'm going to cut my right hand. I'm going to hold the template down and cut to my right. And just go right down. And cut each one of these out. Alright. Now that I've cut out 6 squares, alright, I'm ready to start putting the bevels on my box. Now to put my box together, there's a thickness to this clay, so I can't just put it together end to end. I need to create a bevel so that there's some negative space for them to go together at a 90-degree angle. So I have to cut 45 degrees out of each of these corners. Now, do the bottom first, because this is the only one where you cut all of them. So this is 90 degrees, so from my needle tool to the table is a 90-degree angle. I want 45. It doesn't have to be perfect. This is clay, it'll move around. But I just want somewhere in between those, in the middle is a 45. I have the point of my needle tool touching the outside corner here. I'm going to use my thumb back here to support the slab. I'm going to just draw the tool down and make a straight cut. Your piece, the scrap, should end up looking like a triangle. Then you know you cut the bevel off correctly. If you want to, save one of your scraps and practice on that to get that 45. Alright, so what you should happen is when you put the two together, you should get a nice 90-degree angle, all right, or somewhere close to that. So on this first one, I'm going to do this to all four sides. So before, when I was cutting to my right, now I'm beveling to my left because I'm right-handed. So on the upper left-hand corner, I make a 90-degree angle. I go halfway between 90 degrees for 45. Start my cut. My thumb is down on the bottom supporting it. And I go all the way around for this one. $90, $45. All right, so just this one, be very careful when I pick it up, I don't want to bend it too much. This one has all four sides beveled. This is the only one that has that. I'm going to work on the lid. The lid has no bevels, so the lid's done. Now all I have left is my four sides. My four sides are now going to have just three sides beveled. The top is going to be left flat. And there's definitely going to be one or two of you that bevel all of these. You do not need to do that. So 90 degrees, 45, thumb support, the tip is touching the right on the outside, and I just draw my needle tool straight down to make a cut. I spin my board clockwise to get the bottom, 45 degree angle, and same thing on here. Not doing that one. So for the sides of my box, straight, 45, 45, 45. All right, so I'm going to do that on the next three pieces. Now I have all four sides of my box cut, so I have flat tops and the bevel on the sides and the bottom. I'm going to lay them flat on my board along with my foot and my flange. These are way too wet to start building with. They're too floppy, so I want to store them to dry up a little bit. So here's my lid. There's no cuts on my lid. And then my bottom, which has all four cuts. 1, 2, 3, 4. All right. So now I have all the parts to my box, and I'm going to wrap these up and let them sit out when I'm ready to start building them, because they're too wet to build with right now. I'm going to take all of my scraps and make a big ball with them. And you want to put these in your box or wrap this up, because you're going to need these. Don't let the scraps dry out. You're going to need more clay later. So, I have my pieces, I have my scraps, everything's cut and ready to go to build for next class. Have fun.